Today we're going to talk about outward rotating knees in pants fitting. I can't believe I have not done a video about this topic on my channel yet, and I had a subscriber who asked me a question about how to restore the grain line on pants if you have bow legs. So I'd like to tackle this topic, and really it's basically going to be the opposite of what you would do for inward rotating knees. In front of me here, you can see I've got my wonderful Sew Tights magnetic mat, so I can use my booster magnets to help hold all my little pieces as I work here. But basically, I'm going to cut my legs in half, and I'm going to just create a knee line here. And I'll just draw right across both of them just to create an approximate knee line on these pattern pieces like this. And then I'm also going to create a center balance line here. So we have these two guidelines to help us. Okay, so here's my knee and my vertical balance line ready to go. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you what you would do if you have an inward rotating knee. I'm going to cut off or cut the leg apart at the knee, and to fix this issue, what you would do is you would slide the lower part of the leg toward the crotch or towards the inseam. Okay, and then you can see what happens here if I have it like that, and I'm just going to hold it in place with these booster magnets. Basically what you would do here now is you would fill this in like this and join it with the tip of the crotch. So I'm just going to color what you would fill in here, this yellow. Okay, and you can see if you have an inward rotating knee, it's adding more to the knee on the inside of the leg. And what that does, it gives you more space, and it gives you more coverage for an inward rotating knee above it. So it helps the leg hang better. And then over on the side, what you would do is you would literally take in this area. Well, actually, let's do it over here. Right? And you're getting rid of this. So this is a minus, and actually just to make it really clear, I'm going to cut it off. So basically, if I shifted it like this, I would just get rid of it like that. Okay, so that's what you would do for an inward rotating knee, and basically what you're doing is you're shifting the fabric over to where you need it to provide coverage and to allow the fabric to drape over that sort of situation. Now, you can see, in addition to shifting everything, the grain line is screwed up, right? Because they don't match anymore. So the rule is when you're reestablishing the grain line, you're going to extend the grain line from the bottom or below the adjustment up to the waist again. So you can see here I've reestablished my grain line. And that would be inward rotating knee. Now, if you have an outward rotating or bow leg shape, you would want to do the opposite because you've got less over here and actually your leg needs more room at the knee on the side seam. So let me show you what you would do for that. And actually, let me just tape this together so we can compare them after. Now, and here's an interesting thing. I did draw grain lines on the front leg as well. Most times you don't need to adjust the front leg because there is more fabric hanging below the front crotch and it doesn't shape into the knee as much. So generally in the front, you don't need to make this adjustment for an inward or even an outward rotated knee. So I just wanted to point that out. If I draw I'm just going to draw a line here just to show you what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to draw one over here. Okay, so you can see all of there's nothing under the tip of the crotch in the back, whereas in the front, you can see it's much closer. So there's just more coverage along the inseam. All right, so now let me get rid of these, and I have a fresh set. So let me set it up the same way. Okay, and then let me cut them apart. Okay. All right. So in a situation where your knees rotate to the out seam or the side seam, we want to do the opposite. So again, I'm going to cut at the knee and I'm going to slide it over this way. Now, generally, if I'm working on a full-size pattern, I will make a measurement or mark a measurement of how much I want to slide it. So I'll put a little guideline there before I cut it apart and move it. Because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the grain line on the bottom part of the leg over to this mark above it like this. So you can see what I'm doing now is I'm taking away some of the fabric along the inseam because we don't need it there because the leg is bending away from the side seam. And now we can fix this by, and again, I'll use yellow. So we're going to sort of blend this back in to its original shape. And we're going to add or fill in over here. So you can see what we're doing is we're filling this in to give us more room at the side seam, and we're taking it away from the inseam. Now, both of these adjustments, whether it's a rotated inward rotating knee or outward rotating knee, doing these adjustments does not change the measurement of the leg because we're adding and removing a like amount. All right, so again, if I cut this off, okay, you can see that we took away and we added over here. So if I cut this one, okay, you can see we've made a like adjustment. We have not really changed the measurement. And again, to maintain or reestablish the grain line, I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to go up. I'm going to extend it up like that. So there's our new grain line reestablished. Let me just put these two right next to each other so we can see the difference. So we can see outward rotating knee, we're shifting the fabric this way. Inward rotating knee, we're shifting it this way. All right. And let me just, I don't know, I feel like I need to make a tidy, let me just tidy this up a little bit so it looks nice. Okay, and you can see the only change that I made to each one of them is on the inward rotating knee, I shifted the lower leg towards the inseam, filled in the inseam above the slash, and trimmed off here. And then for the outward rotating knee, I went in the reverse direction. I slid the lower part of the leg towards the side seam, filled it in there, and trimmed it off along the inseam. In both cases, you reestablish the grain line. You just extend the grain line below the adjustment up to the waist. That's my little tutorial on how to adjust your pants pattern for an outward rotating knee or bow leg shape versus an inward rotating knee. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. I hope you're enjoying my content. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It helps me grow and I super appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.